Good morning. Welcome to Grandma's Table. It's the day before Patrick's Day. We've had quite the weekend with Friday the 13th and then Pi Day and then the Ides of March. Oh, beware, beware. Um, but Patrick, for St. Patrick's Day, he was a real person. He was not Irish. He was English and he was abducted and taken as a slave to an enslaved person to Ireland, and he experienced the dehumanization that enslavement causes. Dehumanization still happens in all areas of life. People who look at someone else and think, go back to your country, or they look at someone else and think because of their skin color, they're less than, or because of how they've been designed and their orientation, or their gender, or the color of their hair, because they pick some uh, non-hair color, and people look down on others and dehumanize um, and enslave people with that thought process, and actually enslave themselves by thinking less than, not seeing the divine imprint on fellow humans. Those types of things still happen today. But Patrick experienced this when he got free from Ireland, back to England. And in England, he discovered the grace and the way of Jesus Christ. And he discovered that the way of Jesus is to win with love, to win with compassion, to win with forgiveness. And he was so changed by following the way of Jesus that he said, "Wow, I have to forgive the Irish people who enslaved me. I have to forgive them for what they did to me." He ended up going back to Ireland as a missionary, someone who tells other people about the way of Jesus, and he went back there. He followed the way of Jesus all the way back to loving and having compassion on people who hurt him and dehumanized him and enslaved him. And today, in such a divided culture of the other, the ones that they look different than us, I don't understand them, they're of a different generation, they have purple hair, that person wears a rainbow on their shirt. Like, in that world where it's like, if I don't understand it, I hate it. It is now the enemy because I don't understand. In the world we live in right now, where that is happening, you don't cheer for the right side of some specific um, geopolitical issue. I know that war is far more than an issue, but hear what I'm saying. If we don't agree with every single thing that this person, or if you don't agree with everything I say, all of a sudden you're othered and we divide. Where St. Patrick learned forgiveness and learned restoration and reconciliation. And that didn't mean he went back in and went, hey, you guys can stomp all over me and treat me like a doormat. That doesn't mean that he dehumanized himself for the sake of the others, but he humbled himself and said, I know a better way of living, and it is to follow the teachings and work and life and death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. And I know the way, and that is way of love. And so, my challenge for us this week, um, as we've come off Friday the 13th and Pi Day and the Ides of March, and now we're headed right into St. Pat's tomorrow, my challenge is more than just finding green beer or wearing green or wearing a pin that says "Kiss me, I'm Irish." The challenge is, can we follow a way that is greater? Can we love? Can we forgive the one or ones who have dehumanized us for whatever reason? Can we move forward from here, following in a way that is far different than what we're used to and far better? Keep your feet on the ground and your head in the clouds, and just know, please know, that I love you. Bye.